This hot-swappable multi-mode mechanical keyboard right here has literally everything you'd want. High-quality gasket mount build, checked. Gorgeous look, checked. Premium linear switches and pleasant typing sound, checked. Extensive functionality and convenient numpad, Ajazz AK966 has it all. Oh, and there's a rotary encoder, aka the knob as well. Good day to you, my name is Nick, and in this video I want to show you why AK966 is a perfect choice for your next keyboard. Well, at least I bought one for myself, and spoiler alert, after 2 months I'm really satisfied with it, aside from 2 minor cons. More on that later in this video. AK966 is made by Ajazz in collaboration with Neck Codex. If that doesn't ring a bell, Ajazz is a brand owned by Maker, a large Chinese keyboard manufacturer offering solid, decently priced keyboards. As for this keyboard, you can buy it for around $130. Yes, its price is a bit above average, but considering the quality and specs, let's put it this way, I literally couldn't find any better deal when I was looking for my next home office keyboard. The option I have is called Starry Night, which is more conservative in terms of colors compared to Summer Dream and Greenland, although I really appreciate the darker look. There's now a limited retro edition available as well, but it comes with different switches made by Getron. The box is stylish. Well, aside from Chinese inscriptions, it opens similarly to Apple boxes, which is pretty neat. In a box we have the keyboard, manual and warranty, transparent dust cover, combined puller for keycaps and switches, Type-C cable for charging and wired connectivity, additional Mac keycaps, a tester with 4 different KL switches, and replacement metal knob with green arrow sign. I guess Maker just had a bunch of those laying around the warehouse and they looked for a way to get rid of them. Maybe this rotary encoder looks good when installed on white keyboards, I don't know, but on darker ones, it's a perfectionist nightmare. Ajazz AK966 has an unusual form factor of 96% or so-called 1800 layout, aka compact full size. But unlike other keyboards of a similar form factor, this one has a knob in top right corner. The keyboard is much more compact than the standard full-sized one, but it has all the keys you need for productivity or gaming. F keys, numeric keys, arrows, and numpad is here as well. And by the way, numpad comes exactly like on full-size siblings, aside from a shorter zero, but it's something very easy to get used to. So it's basically very similar to a full-sized keyboards, but it's much more compact. Yeah, you missed some of the keys, which are not that frequently used, but you get that great rotary encoder. I regularly listen to music and watch videos, and I find myself adjusting the volume or muting many times a day. And I can tell you that this little knob is the best, far more convenient way to do that, period. Volume controls via the system or using F keys feels like going back to typing on a T9 keyboard now. Sadly, there's a minor issue here. If I rotate the knob very slowly, it adjusts volume one step at a time, just as it should. So small rotation, level up one step, I release the knob, it stays in position, no problems here. But when I move the knob normally with adequate pressure, it goes 2 steps at a time. And tactile feedback is 2 steps as well. Lowering the volume 1 step, don't feel anything, 2nd step, it falls into place. It might sound like I'm complaining, and heck yeah, I am complaining, because this keyboard is so cool overall, so this minor drawback is even more annoying. Okay, back to design. On the left side there's a mode switch, and on the right there's a magnetic dongle compartment. By the way, the dongle itself is black for dark keyboards and white for light colored options. That's an Apple level of attention to details. Well done, Ajazz. On the bottom there are 5 rubber pads and 2 position feet to lift the keyboard with rubber pads as well. Type-C port is located in the center, but thanks to the cable channel, it's possible to connect the cable from either of 3 sides. Starting from downsides here, or to be more precise, a single downside, the keyboard case is plastic, not aluminum. It's pretty solid, but I would definitely prefer a metal one for higher durability. Thing is, it's been only 2 months and I already have a couple of small scratches and one of a bigger size. Not a deal breaker if you ask me, but it's definitely something to consider before making a purchase. AK966 is a gasket mount keyboard. What it means is that this gasket mount prevents the plate from a direct contact with the case. Keyboard turned out to be very quiet. It's because some of the sound is absorbed by polycarbonate plate itself, which is very flexible, and even more sound is absorbed thanks to gaskets. That is small damping pads made of soft silicone around the perimeter of the board every 4 to 5 centimeters. On top of that, there are 3 layers of porous foam in the keyboard. These foams are placed respectively at the bottom of the case and between the PCB and plate. These features combined result in a solid typing experience and a softer feel. There will be a complete sound test closer to the end of the video. AK966 uses the Kale Cream custom switches, which are factory loop for smooth travel and are made of high quality POM material and metal contacts. Going into more detail, these switches are linear, which means no clicky sound and no bumpy tactile response. Kale Cream provides smooth and consistent keystroke with a quiet noise, 2mm actuation point and 4mm overall travel. Actuation force is 55 grams. Kale Cream custom switches are priced at $6 per 10 pieces if purchased separately, so it's a bit unexpected, at least for me, to see them in a keyboard of this price level. LEDs are south-facing, that is located at the bottom of the switch, so the light soaks up the space between keys, and this also means that more keycap types are compatible. Stock keycaps have ergonomic MDA profile and are made of PBD. Symbols are applied using sublimation technology, which should lead to an excellent lifespan. The surface of the keycaps is fine-grained and very pleasant to the touch, and I really enjoyed the font used. I saw a very positive feedback on stabilizers used in AK966. And yes, they are much better comparing to cheap Chinese mechanical keyboards I used before, but I would describe them as simply of good quality. There is no strong bounce and no annoying sound, but the spacebar, in my opinion, doesn't work great, especially when pressed on the right. The PCB offers support for hot-swappable switches from Kale vendor, both 3-pin and 5-pin, so if you would like to make modifications in future, you can. Personally, I really like the feel and sound of stock switches. AK966 is a triple-mode keyboard. It can be connected either wirelessly or wired using a Type-C cable. A wireless connection can be established either by using a dongle or via Bluetooth 5.0. Keyboard can be paired with up to 3 Bluetooth devices at once. Considering there's a quick mode switch between dongle and Bluetooth, you can use this keyboard wirelessly with 4 devices simultaneously, easily switching between each of them. I have faced no noticeable delays when connected wirelessly, both via dongle and Bluetooth. Keyboard automatically turns off the backlight and enters low power mode after 5 minutes of inactivity and goes into deep sleep after 30. In both cases, it wakes up by pressing any button. So it's just one key press to wake up the keyboard and it reconnects immediately after that. The keyboard is full RGB and has 18 light effects. As I mentioned earlier, LED placement is south, which results into gorgeous uniform ambient light. There is more juice in here than in 3 iPhone 14 Pro Max combined. 10,000 mAh are provided by 2 batteries. Once again, 10,000. That's like a decent power bank built right into the keyboard. The manufacturer declares up to 1200 hours standby time with lights off and 50 hours work time with lights on. I used the keyboard with a backlight set to this wave effect at the highest brightness, so it lights up only after a key press. And I use a keyboard every day for around 6 to 10 hours. In these conditions, I have to charge it once in 3 weeks or maybe a bit more. By the way, you can continue using keyboard while it's being charged. When the battery goes below 20%, backlight will turn off and the FN button along with the connection status LED will start blinking. This way you won't suddenly find yourself in the middle of a gaming session with a dead keyboard. AK966 can be set to Windows or Mac modes by using FN+A or FN+S combinations respectively. I am using it in Windows mode, even though I have Mac labeled keycaps installed. Yeah, that's weird, I know. LED backlight can be also controlled straight from the keyboard. I'll leave a link to English manual with all the key combinations in the description down below. There is software that can be downloaded from Epomaker website, I'll leave a link to that as well for your convenience, but only Windows is supported. By using the software you can configure the backlight, remap the keys, record a macro and adjust the port polling frequency. To sum up, I really like the Ajazz AK966. It turned out to be a perfect keyboard for my use case. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if there's a better alternative worth checking out. If this video was helpful, hit that like button. And should you have any questions left, feel free to ask them. See you in the next videos.